All right, what's going on, guys? JR here. It is Friday, April 7th, 2017, and I'm going to see if I can record a nice trap. So basically what we have is it's a range day. Everything's been kind of swinging above and below the EMA. There is a slight upward bias. Well, at least there was a slight upward bias when the market first opened and during the overnight. Now we're kind of flat and swinging side to side, back and forth. So what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to see if this turns into a trap, because for some reason I'm thinking that this is most likely going to turn into a trap because this second entry short looks a little bit too good to be true. And I did have a break of my trend line to push down to a new low, and then we have a short-term uptrend which I'm looking for a new high. So basically what I'm going to do, and yeah, that's doing exactly what I want it to. So hopefully this will close bullish. We can go ahead and take that as a second entry long in conjunction with a failed second entry short, and then that should be a pretty nice trap. And I'm thinking we'll most likely pop back up and retest these highs and maybe even get a new high for the day. So we'll see what happens, but gonna put it on pause, and then we will go ahead and take this long as soon as this bar closes, as long as it closes bullish. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we have these shorts trapped, because there's a couple ways you could have drawn this trend line. I think that this is the one that I'm going to play because that's most likely the correct one, but people may have drawn it like that, and they may be looking for a retest of the low, which I don't think that's your best bet in this particular scenario, especially when you have short-term uptrend working up. You get a break, and we still have no new high in place for that. So gonna go to pause, and I'll be back when this bar closes, and we'll see whether or not we're gonna take this to the upside. I'm actually gonna go ahead and stick my stop, my buy stop, one tick above this bar right here, since we did go out of the bottom and now we're pushing up, and we might just pop out of the top all in one. Hopefully we don't do that in this one bar. Well, the entry would be the same now anyway, so let's just hang tight for a second and see if we get kind of triggered into this trade right now. Alright, so we're in the trade. It's a big stop, big full 2-point stop. The close is literally, my stop is going to have to be right on the low of that bar. I probably should move it down by one tick, but I don't think we're going to come back here. And if we do manage to come all the way back here, then honestly I don't want to have anything to do with the trade at that point. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the first contract at 1 point, so it's going to be 54.25, and then I'm actually going to go ahead and stretch this second contract up top here to 57.25. So I'm going to take that off 2 ticks before the high of the day. So that's going to be a 4-point runner for the second contract and a 1-point target on the first contract. And yeah, we got these shorts trapped for sure. Whenever you see basically a bar that looks really good for a trade, and then the next bar you get is pretty much a reversal bar, that's usually indicative of a trap, and it's probably a good decision to exit. So if I were to go short right here and then I saw a bar like this appear, I'd probably close at that point in time. But I'm going to go to pause, and we'll be back as soon as we get some movement. Alright, so just a brief update. I had a tad bit of a scare right here with this bar, because this thing traded literally all the way back down here, and I was watching the ticks. They were snapping off incredibly fast. I really thought I got trapped. It's funny because it's ironic. I'm over here talking about how the shorts most likely got trapped, and then I enter long trying to take advantage of that, and then I think I got trapped. But fortunately this bar turned around and closed on its very high. It opened right here, traded all the way back down, reversed, and closed all the way on its very high. So that's a great sign. It takes a lot of buying to do that, but that's just a brief little update. Really thought I got trapped right there, but I think once we break above this level, we should get a nice little pop, and I think we'll definitely make it to right here. And if we're lucky, we'll make it to even up top here. But let me go ahead and measure this leg and see what a target up top there would be. So that would be a target of around about 58.75. So I think our runner is in a good place where it's at. I think that's a safe place to take it off before we possibly get up here, because we might not make it up here, and you always want to take it off like before critical highs and lows, because we could touch this and turn down, and we could definitely touch this and turn down. So we'll see if we make it through that, and if we make it through this, then we'll definitely make it up top here, and then if we make it through here, then we'll definitely make it up top here. So I hope that makes sense, but it really has to do with where the resting orders are located. So for this particular scenario, let me scroll to this side to take off some of these lines so you can see this a bit clearer. But up top here, where you see there's a bit of resistance stacking up, all that is people are selling. So once you manage to push through that level, they have their buy stops somewhere up top here in this region. So what that's going to do is it's going to cause an influx of buying to come into the market, and it's going to cause prices to really surge higher. So if we can break through this, then we'll definitely make it up top here, and then if we can break through there, then we'll definitely make it up top here, is what I'm thinking. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully you understand that concept, because it's a very powerful concept, and it's going to come in handy if you can understand that, and you can really use that to your advantage when determining when to enter, where not to enter, and if there's most likely going to be strength in your particular trading direction. So yeah, I'm going to go back to pause, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, so it's looking like we might get that first target right now. I almost closed after this bar because I've kind of been realizing that when things don't initially go your way in a timely manner, sometimes you're better off closing, because I lost a couple trades this past week by holding on to them for slightly longer than I should have. And after this trade, I may even go back and show you guys the scenarios that I'm talking about, because they looked like good trades. They looked like really nice trades. It's just that typically when you take a trade, I mean, don't get me wrong, things don't always take off at the speed of light and just happen instantaneously, but typically it should happen within a timely manner. And when you have a trap, usually that's not going to take forever. The beauty about traps is that they typically happen quickly. So so as you can see, now the trap is really initiated, and now we should get some speed to the upside. I don't know if you could tell by that bar, it really popped, and hopefully we see a good amount of buying come in. But I did like this trade a lot. What was I going to do? I was going to show you guys. One second, let me pull up my old chart. Alright, so this was, I think this was 2 days ago, and I know Mac talked about these two trades, well, this trade in particular, and I actually got burned here back to back, so I took 2 L's consecutively, and this really taught me, all right, you need to close your trades when they're not kind of taking off, because if you notice, this is clear support right here, very clearly defined support. We've tested this area 4, maybe even 5 times. You get a nice bullish reversal bar. It's also a failed second entry short, so this should take off relatively quickly. The bias has been up pretty strongly on that day, and I entered doji, semi bullish, but still another doji. Let me check on this other trade in the meantime, actually. Okay, so that's still going, but doji, semi bullish doji, and then boom, stop filled. So after this, I kind of realized, okay, if I see 2, maybe 3 bars at the most stacking up, it's probably best for me to close these trades, because I lost this one, which I thought was a beautiful trade, and I also lost another trade yesterday, which I thought was a good one too. Let me see if I can find that. It was this one right here. I went long right here. Beautiful setup, coming off my trend line, my EMA. I had support right here, clearly defined. Thought it was a good trade. And if you look at the chart review, Mac's chart, literally there's no reason to even think about going long in this particular situation, because he had nothing but bearish bars and dojis, I think. For some reason, I've noticed that my data has looked completely different, and I've been losing a good amount of trades because of it. So I don't know what the problem is, but in my mind, that looks like a pretty good long setup. I went long. Granted, this bar happened, but I thought it'd be okay, because when this bar came, we ticked 1 tick lower and then turned up. I said, all right, excellent. We've got a pretty nice trap right there. I should definitely be good. Then I'm stopped out all in the next bar, and it just happened so quickly. And then I look at the chart review, and there's no long there on his chart, even remotely the slightest reason to be thinking long. So that was a bit strange. And then there was another scenario where I actually lost. Let me pause it and pull up that chart. Okay, this one right here. This is from, what day was this? This is March 29th. March 29th, I had a trend working down. You get your first entry short right here, second entry short right off the trend line, and it fits on both sides very clearly, very well. I thought I had a great trade. Trend line, EMA, boom, trapped. I watched the chart review, and literally this was a bullish bar on his chart, and I was like, wow, man, what's going on with the data? Because I've been losing. I've been losing because of these bars, and I don't know what the problem is. If it were just the bars being bad, okay, that's understandable. But it's the bars and the location where I'm kind of getting these bad signal, these good signal bars that in actuality turn out to be not so good in the real picture of things, and I've been taking L's because of it. So I don't know if that happens to some of you guys. I do understand that no two tick charts will look the same exact way. I do understand that it varies based upon your data provider and most likely the trading platform that you're using, but I don't know if there's any way I can fix this. Please let me know if any of you guys have like a remedy for that or have experienced that. But that's not cool, man, because these are, not to say these losses are unjust, but they're kind of unjust. Because if you look at this, like, this looks like a long setup. You take this on any other day, that's going to be a long setup. That's going to be a good trade. It's just the only thing that I can say about this is it's close to the high. But if you look at it, the bias is up. The bias has been up completely. It's right off the trend line. It's a reversal bar. It's off this area of support, off the EMA. Boom, I thought I had a good trade. I didn't even think twice. Took the trade, reversal bar, that's okay. Went one tick lower, turned back up. Great, we got an even stronger trap. I thought this thing was going to pop. Nope, bottom fell out. And I look at the chart review, and that's nowhere to be found. So let me see what's going on with this one. This thing has been taking a little bit of time. I thought that was going to go faster than that, but yeah, I don't know. And it's just it's kind of frustrating when you lose like that. And this one really pissed me off. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought I had a good trade, nice second entry. And the funny thing is, this right here is essentially a repeat pattern of, I guess you could say, this setup right here. On the midday, not the midday, on the end of the day chart review, this actually looks better on his chart than it does on mine, but it essentially looks exactly like this. So it's basically the same trade, and it works right there. But then again, on his chart he had a bullish bar, which I'm sure everyone else had bullish bars on their chart as well. That's why nobody went short there, and boom, I took a nice L and didn't know why I lost until I looked at the chart review and was like, whoa, okay, that makes sense. Only other thing I could think of is it's the middle of the range, so just be careful. But yeah, man, I've been talking for a while, so I'm gonna pause this and then we'll see how this trade plays out. This might actually turn over now since we had a break and a move to a new high, or it could keep going. I still think it's gonna go higher, but it really just depends on, it just depends, but we'll be back. Alright, so analyzing this a bit further, I think I'm gonna need to lock in these gains because this was in fact a trading range right here. And most breakouts do in fact fail, so I wouldn't be surprised if we tapped that and turned back around and came back, especially since we have a break of this short-term uptrend and a new high in place. So I'm just going to go ahead and slide this down to we'll just take 2 points. That's my standard. We'll take 2 points and we'll call it a trade. It might go up to these highs, but it may pull back before it does do that, or it just may not even go up to the highs. So we're going to play it safe, and we're just going to take 2 points off this thing, and I'll end the video because I spent more time talking than what I probably should have, because I like to keep these videos relatively short. But yeah, so hopefully I didn't miss that 2 point opportunity by trying to be a little bit greedy by going for the high of the day, but we'll see. So we'll be right back. And then one more thing to add is that the high that we just got is a perfect measured move to the tick. So you get this first leg right here, and then this is your second leg, and that's to the tick, but hopefully we'll get out right here. Alright, so we're done with that. It's probably my last trade for the day. Let me go over the trades that I saw and liked today. So first trade that I saw is this long right here. Basically you have an upward bias, you draw your trend line off these first 2 swings, and you come back and you confirm it right here. I wasn't trading at this time, but I probably wouldn't have taken that long anyways. Just actually I might have, because you notice you get the failed second entry. It's a little ways away from the EMA. You have a clearly defined first two swings, and you come back and you're respecting that trend line. So I may have taken that long. You're going sideways right here. It was tempting to go long right there, but I lost a trade yesterday by kind of taking it as a failed breakout, but I guess I didn't wait for it to really fail, so I kind of was skeptical of that one. And then when this big bullish bar came, I liked that one, so that was a good trade right there. You get a strong sell-off. I don't really see any way of entering. You may have considered entering up top here, because if you notice, you get this short-term uptrend, and it's a perfect measured move, I think. You get that right there. And then, yeah, it's just about a perfect measured move. You get a nice big bearish reversal bar. Although what I've noticed is you're kind of better off trying to pick those tops when you have two legs up to a new high. But this is a big bar. You're far away from the EMA, so you may have considered taking that, and that would have worked out. I don't really see any other way that I personally like entering this move down. It just kind of runs away, and I don't see a safe way of entering this long because I don't get a higher low or anything like that on my chart. You may have gotten it because clearly my chart has been acting a little bit funny. But yeah, I don't see anything right there. There's a possible long right here. I didn't like it because I already had a break and a push up to a new high. So if anything, I liked this short. I was just a bit skeptical of it because I didn't get the two legs that I traditionally like to see, and we're not that far away from the EMA. Would have worked, but then again, I like to play it a bit safe. So I skipped this one, and then this was a good one right here. I didn't take this one either because I didn't particularly like the fact that this was a doji. But if you notice, this is our highs of the day, our highs of the range. You get a failed breakout right up top here. Then you pull back, retest that level, and then that's two legs up to a new high, and then you get a nice bar, and then you can short that. I like this short right here because you have your trend line working down. This is your lower high. You push straight through the EMA, you pull back, test it, nice bearish reversal bar. I like that short. And then the next thing I see is this long. And on these range days, you probably really want to play these micro trends because they'll help. The main reason why I suspected this one to be a trap is because I've been burned taking this setup a couple times in the past. I think the past 2 weeks I maybe lost like this twice, I think. So fool me once, you know, shame on you, but fool me twice, you're not going to get me again. So I've lost at least 2 times doing this. So I said, all right, not going to get me this time, and I started drawing my trend lines a bit tighter and realizing, okay, break, new low, break, need a new high. This thing looks a little bit too good to be true, and that's usually how they get you. It's the ones that look kind of least likely to happen that are the ones that are going to work. So I went ahead and took this long. Scared me for a second when it basically reversed on me, and then it snapped all the way back up top there. That takes a lot of buying, so I liked holding on to it, and then we went on up to a new high, and that's what I personally saw today. There may be a short setup setting up soon. I'm probably not going to take it. I think I'm done for the day. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is JR, and then let me show you guys these charts one more time so you can, maybe if you have time or maybe if you feel like it, go back and look at the midday charts for these dates and tell me if I'm crazy, or tell me if you personally think, yeah, I don't know, that sucks that your data looks like that. But this is March 29th. So go back, look at the chart review for this, and look at you may not even be able to recognize the area, because when I pulled it up, I couldn't even recognize the area. But look at this short setup, second entry, failed break out of this little mini range right here, because this is a tad bit of congestion. You get a failed breakout. There's no real uptrend right here, in my personal opinion. You just get 2 big bullish bars. You have this trend line, which looks valid. It looks pretty legit to me, the way it's hugging it. Prices are turning down, and then you get this nice bearish bar. Nice bearish reversal bar right off the EMA, right off the trend line. So go back to March 29th, look at that, look at this particular setup, and you'll see, I think he had a bullish bar or a doji. Nothing that would make you even consider going short right there. So that's what happened to me. But look at that. And then for yesterday, look at this one right here, and look at his area right up top here, and you'll see that I don't know what's going on with the data. You guys drop some comments down below, and maybe I can figure out a way to fix this. But it doesn't happen every day. but it happens enough to the point where it's frustrating, because these are losses that I'm taking that I can't even really call it a lapse in my judgment, because if it actually did look like that, the setup would have worked. So I mean, hey, it's not like I'm taking dumb trades, it's just the data's kind of jipping me. But that's it. I'm gonna call it quits. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know I made it a bit more lengthy than what I should have or would have done, but let me just go over this trade one more time. It's a failed second entry short. You get your new low right here, first entry right there, pullback, nice big bearish reversal bar, second entry, ticks beneath it. I went long when we broke beneath this bar and came out of the top, so I had my stop waiting right there. It's also a second entry long, and it turned out to be a pretty nice trade. I thought we would go higher, faster, and farther, but apparently we didn't. We may turn down off these highs again, and that may give you a nice short opportunity. But that's it for now. I'll see you guys next time. This is JR. Have a good weekend. Good trading. Yeah, I'll see you guys later.